Hey everybody, Scott here. Hope you're having a great day. As you can tell, we're still not completely unpacked. I did find my green screen, but did not find the frame to hang it with. So you've still got the background, which includes 30 chicks that are a week to 2 weeks old in the brooder back there, and some mead making and miscellaneous stuff going on here in the joint office slash rumpus room slash wherever we can stash stuff. So in our last video, we talked about how our ADU plans were rejected by the city of Poway, and that was because we had to have the same roof line, the same exterior material, color, and windows as the existing structure, and that just was not possible. Was not what we put forth. We also found out from the fire captain on a positive note that we did not have to put our ADU 100 feet in from the property line to conform with California's 100-foot fire abatement. Because it was an ADU, we could fit within existing side yard setbacks, and that put us 20 feet in. So it gave us a better location, but we went to the drawing board to try and find a plan that would work. We also, at this standpoint, started digging a well, because the biggest thing in California, Southern California especially where we are, is access to water. And we had budgeted about $50,000 for the well. Well, let's see how that worked out. So out of the 4 conditions that Poway put on us, we only had 4 problems. The first being the roof line. If you look at this, this is not really a structure you would like to duplicate. I mean, the Game of Thrones tower might have been state of the art back in 1929, 1930, but it's not something we really wanted to have to do in our ADU and then in our main house again once we built that. The second is the material. Look at this, you've got plywood, you've got vertical boards on top of horizontal boards. It's just a complete mess and nothing you would want to have to do. Third is the color. I don't think I need to say any more. And the fourth is the windows. We got to pass on the windows because they were too old. But you can see from the side view that it just doesn't get any better. The whole house was kind of a mess. So here's what we did. We stuccoed the entire house and put stones here in the front, and then we snapped a picture of this and sent it to Poway and said, this is what we're going to do. We've done this with the existing house and we'll do this on the ADU. And they said, great, you're meeting us halfway, you're good to go. The problem is that cost us $13,000 and still left us with the Game of Thrones tower. So fortunately, we had a very large windstorm come through along with 3 day laborers, and they were able to take care of that Game of Thrones tower issue. And finally we had the bones of something we could work with. Now we just had to come up with a plan, and here was the floor plan we came up with. So this is the original plan we came up with for the ADU, and there were a few changes made, but in terms of floor plan, we largely stuck with this. It had a large front deck. Now we were orienting it so we had a really nice view of Mount Woodson from the front, and we could sit out there on the front porch. Then you came into a kitchen, a living room, and then 3 bedrooms. Now the reason for 3 bedrooms in a 1,200 square foot house, which was the largest we were able to do at this time, was obviously we needed a master, we needed one for Zach, and the idea with this being a disabled boys home down the road, we want to maximize the bedroom count. And so we did it in such a way that we could run stairs right through here, changing the rooms a little bit, and then add 2 more bedrooms and a bath upstairs, then end up with a 5-bedroom house for disabled boys. We maximized the garage, which was a little over 700 square feet, so that we could have more usable space. And then this window here, this back wall, is actually a La Cantina door, so it completely opens up so that we could do a back patio with an outdoor kitchen and kind of extend the living space to make it feel a little bit larger. So now we had the basics of the house down, it was time to focus on the well. So we hired a well manager. See her right there, Sydney. And as what usually happens when you hire a dog to manage a project, the project goes to the dogs. And we had budgeted $50,000 for the well based on the fact that it's about $20 a foot to drill. Then we needed a 5,000 gallon storage tank down here. We needed a 5,000 gallon tank at the house. We need the pumps and the pipes and that kind of stuff. Well, what we didn't really realize is as you go deeper, the price goes up. So we were hoping to get water at about 600 feet like our neighbor. We hit our first water at 860 feet, and it was basically 1/3 of the output of a garden hose, 3.5 gallons a minute. So they kept digging. They got down to 1,200 feet, which was not done at $20 a foot, and then the bottom of the well collapsed. So they had to come back up and work with the 860 feet. So that combined with the fact that we didn't realize we had to fill in the old well, which was a remarkable well. It was built in 1945 or dug in 1945. It was 96 feet deep with a 6.5 foot diameter, and it was dug by hand. Well, we had to fill that entire space in with material, so we had to import a lot of gravel. Let's just say that before we'd even done any ancillary tanks, just basically digging our well, filling in the old well, and getting the pumps and the tank at the well, nothing near the ADU, no piping, we were already at $100,000. So way over budget. But at least we were making progress. Now it was time to send our plans into the city and see what happens.